Okay children, now let us see how to convert meter into centimeter. So for that one question is there. Suppose if you are given a question, this object, if an object is having 3 meter length, convert that into centimeter. Then how can you convert that into centimeter? You know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Okay, so the length of the stick is 3 meter. Suppose if the length of the stick is 3 meter, you have to convert that into centimeter. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So just see, from here to here the distance is 1 meter, and 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Then again another 1 meter is equal to again 100 centimeter. Again another 100 is equal to one more 100 centimeter. Another 1 meter is equal to one more 100 centimeter. So this 3 meter, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter means 3 meter is equal to 3 into 100 centimeter. So that is equal to 300 centimeter length. Okay. So 3 meter is equal to, if we convert that into centimeter, we will get a 300 centimeter. 3 meter will be converted into centimeter means we will get a 3 into 100 centimeter, that is equal to 300 centimeter we will get. So now just see another, if you want to find the distance from Delhi to Shimla. Okay, if you want to find the distance from Delhi to Shimla, that is 342 kilometer. Suppose if the distance from Delhi to Shimla, that is 342 kilometer, and you want to convert that into meter. Okay, 342 kilometer should be converted into meter. You know that 1 meter is equal to 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. Okay, 1 kilometer is equal to how many meter? 1000 meter. Then if you want to convert the distance 342 kilometer into meter, what you have to do? 342 kilometer into meter, if you want to convert, what you need to do? 342 kilometer, 342 into 1000 meter. Okay, 342 into 1000 meter. Then the result will be 3,42,000 meter. Okay, 342 kilometer into 1000 meter means you will get a 3,42,000 meter. 342 kilometer is how many meter? 3,42,000 meter. That's all. Okay. So like this, some problems will be there in your textbook. Accordingly, you have to solve it. Okay, children. Now, you know what is this? It is measuring tape. Okay. Measuring tape is used to measure the distance. We can measure the distance, shorter distance or longer distance also we can measure by using a measuring tape. For example, if you want to take the measurement of this wooden piece, so what you need to do means you have to keep one end where it is starting from 0. I told you that you have to keep it one end of this wooden material, and then you have to keep the tape straightly at the same time closely to the object. Then you have to count the number. Then it is starting from 0, it ends in 13, it ends in 15.1. So that is the correct measurement of this wooden piece. Okay. So you have to, whenever you are taking the correct measurement, you have to keep the measuring device or the tape or scale close to the object. Then you have to look at the end point in a correct to our eye level. You have to observe it, then you will get the correct measurement. And we should not keep the tape in a slanting position or far away from the object. We should not keep. You have to keep it so close, and you have to keep it in a straight line. You have to keep it. You should not keep it in a slanting line also. And this is about the straight object. Then suppose if you want to take the measurement of this curved line. Suppose you are drawing a curved line on your table or somewhere, and you have to get the correct measurement of the curved line. In that case, what you need to do is you have to take a thread. You have to take a thread, and one end of the thread you have to keep a knot. Okay, one end of the thread you have to keep a knot. Knot means you know what is knot, a ket. Okay, and mark it as a. So one end of the thread you have to keep a knot, and that you have to mark it as a. Then afterwards what you need to do is, suppose this is the curved line. So curved lines one end, that means where you have kept the knot, that you have to place at one end. Then after that you have to keep this thread over the curved line. Suppose if it is a curved line, keep the thread over the line like this. Wherever curves are there, about all the surface of those curves, you have to place the thread. Okay. Now, you got this much distance you got. After placing this thread over this curved line, now this is the end portion. That end portion you have to mark as B. Starting portion you have to mark as A, and the end portion you have to mark as B. Now you got a length of this much in the thread. Okay. So this much is the curved line. You have to place the thread over the curved line, and the beginning you have to mark it as A, and the end point you have to mark it as B. Then you take the thread outside. Then by using a measuring tape, suppose this is a measuring tape, by using the measuring tape, the starting point, that A should be placed. Okay, that ending point also you can keep a note, or you can mark it as B. Ending point also you have to keep a note in order to get the measurement. Then afterwards, now here ending point also we have kept a mark, that is a note we have kept, and the beginning also we have already kept a note. So the distance between these two knots you have to measure by using a tape. Okay, by using a measuring tape you have to keep, or by using a scale also you can do the same. Okay, by using this curved, the thread which you placed over the curved line, you have to take it out, and with the help of a measuring tape or with the help of a scale, you can measure the distance. Suppose it is a scale, with the help of a scale also you will be able to measure the distance. Okay. So in this way you are able to measure the length of a curved line, and you can observe the same procedure you can use. Suppose if you want to take the size of your waist, waist means you know what is waist. Okay. Okay, size of your waist, or you want to measure the diameter of your wrist region, you have to measure. Okay, then what you can do, with the help of a thread you can take it like this. Then afterwards you will get this much length, and this you have to measure by using a scale. Or whenever you go to tailoring shop, you can observe they used to measure the size of your waist by using a tape. Okay, because your body is in a curved, not in a straight manner. So in that curved lines also, suppose this neck region, it is they will keep the tape like this. They can, the neck size if they want to measure, they will keep it like this, and they can get the measurement. Then afterwards they have to take it outside and see, then they will get the measurement. So any curved object we may use, measuring tape can be used, you know, it is measuring tape, and measuring tape can be used to find out the measurement of any curved surfaces. Okay children, up to now we have discussed about different types of measurement. Okay, measurement of time, measurement of weight, measurement of length, measurement of temperature, and all this we have discussed. Now let us discuss about motion. What is by motion? Motion means it is movement. Okay, movement from one place to another place, that is known as motion. And if you look around, you can see there are so many objects are moving here and there. Birds are moving from one place to another place. We human beings are moving from one place to another place. Clouds keep moving from, regarding this last lesson we have already discussed. Okay, all the living things, they used to move from one place to another place. Some non-living things are also moving from one place to another place. For example, car. Car is a non-living thing only, but when we are filling it with fuel, and if you switch on the motor or if you start it, the vehicle will move from one place to another place. And we also observe that clouds in the sky, they are non-living things, but they keep moving from one place to another place. Okay, and there are so many vehicles in our surrounding. Just now we have discussed about means of transport. Means of transport on road, means of transport in water, means of transport in air, we have discussed. There are different means of transport we have discussed. All these are moving from one place to another place, and this shifting of one object from one place to another place, that we can call it as motion. The movement of any object from one place to another place is known as motion, we can say. Then almost all the things which we see around us, we can see they are not moving also. Some non-moving objects are also there. We can say they are said to be stationary. Okay, the objects which are not at all moving, we can say they are stationary. Okay, and these stationary objects, they will be staying in a particular place. They will be resting at a particular time period. Within a particular time period, they are said to be in a stationary position. They are said to be at rest, we can say. any object is said to be at rest, they are not moving from time to time. Then we can say they are stationary objects. They are not having any motion. Whereas some other objects, and such objects you can see table in your classroom or a blackboard that is fixed to a particular place, that is fixed throughout the year. How many years you will study, that table will be, or that board will be placed on that particular place. And the fan is fixed in your classroom. If it is, that is also fixed to a particular place. They are not moving at all. But when we switch on, fan keeps rotating. That's a type of motion that we will discuss afterwards. Otherwise, the fan is fixed in a particular place. The desks and benches in your classroom, unless and until we move it from one place to another place, it will not be able to move. All these objects, and in our surrounding you can find large number of trees are there. All these trees are fixed to a particular place. They will not be able to move from one place to another place. So we can say all such objects which are not at all moving from one place to another place, they are at rest and they are stationary, and they are not showing any type of motion, we can say. An object is said to be in motion if it changes its position according to time. Okay, as per the time, if an object changes its position, we can say that object is in motion, we can say. For example, vehicles. Vehicles are from time to time, its place is changing. Okay, it is starting from Kattapana and it keeps moving forward and it reaches Puliamala junction. From each and every time you can find there will be a movement of that vehicle from one place to another place. Such objects we can say they are at motion. A bird, and suppose a bird is resting on the branch of a tree, then whenever we are making a sound, or if we try to throw a stone on it, immediately they keeps moving from one place to another place. Then we can say that bird is in motion. Okay, suppose you are riding a bicycle. When you start from the starting point by using your muscular energy, you are riding on the bicycle, then it keeps moving from one place to another place. We can say it's an example for a motion. So any objects, they are changing its position from time to time, we can say they are said to be in motion. And if you see the types of motion, there are different types of motion are there. One is known as rectilinear motion, we can say. Rectilinear motion means a motion which happens in a straight line. If any object moves in a straight line forward, then we can say it's an example for rectilinear motion. You might have observed that during Republic Day or Independence Day and all, people used to do march past. Even in our school we are doing parade. Okay, during the time of parade, people used to move forward. Okay, they are moving in a straight line. We can't bend here and there. Those who are doing like that, you are already experienced that. In the previous experience, you know that whoever is not doing properly the march past or parade, they will be out of that particular group already. You know that. Houseways, we were doing the parade here in the class, in the school. And during march past, people are moving forward in a straight line. Then we can say it's an example for a rectilinear motion. Can you say any other example? Can you think of any other example where the rectilinear motion is happening? If you are riding a bicycle in a straight line, we can say it's an example for a rectilinear motion. And the movement of vehicles in a straight line, that's an example for rectilinear motion. Again, you can observe trains. Train, they are moving in a straight line. A curved area you can't say, but whenever they are moving in a straight line, we can say it's an example for a rectilinear motion. And when we are playing football, suppose if you kick the football, it moves, it rolls on the ground in a straight manner. It is moving on the ground in a straight manner. Okay, and that straight movement of the ball, we can say it's an example for a rectilinear motion. There are so many examples are there. You try to think of some other examples. Okay, children, now let us study about circular motion. Okay, circular motion means movement of any object in a circular path. The movement of any object in a circular path. And in your textbook, one example is given there. You have to take a thread and tie a small wooden piece or a stone at the end of the thread like this. Then after tying that stone or a wooden piece or anything, even a ball also you can take, and then you have to rotate it like this. So it is moving in a circular path. It is fixed in a particular place and it is moving in a circular path. And such type of a motion, we can say example for circular motion. Circular motion. hands of a clock, you can observe that minute hand is there, second hand is also there, it is moving in a circular manner, you are able to see. Okay, it's an example for a circular motion. Again, fan, when you switch on the fan, you can observe the fan keeps rotating. That is an example for a circular motion. And you all are familiar whenever you go for a fair and all, okay, especially that Thekdi, we used to go, there are some fest is a Thekdi fest or Kattapana fest also, municipal ground, it was conducted very recently. And that time when we visit that area, you can observe that there is a very big enjoyment, amusement area is there. Their merry-go-round is a merry-go-round. And if you sit on that merry-go-round, no, it keeps, whenever the motor is on, it keeps rotating like this. Okay, we all used to move in a fast manner. There is an example for a wheel, is an wheel, a cart wheel, wooden cart wheel or bullock cart's wheel or even bicycle's wheel. They are showing what type of motion? They are showing circular motion. And in your daily life, you are experiencing so many such examples, and try to add on the list by reading your textbook or discussing with your elders or friends. Okay. So that is about circular motion. What is circular motion? The movement of anything in a circular path. Movement of any object in a circular path, that is known as circular motion. Okay. Now let us go to the next topic. Okay children, now let us discuss about periodic motion. Periodic motion means after a regular interval, the object moves up and down or to and fro. You are experiencing motion of an object repeats after a regular interval or after a regular period. That is known as periodic motion. So pendulum, you all are familiar with the pendulum of a clock. Okay, pendulum of a clock, you can observe whenever time is 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock, you can observe it keeps moving to and fro, you can observe. Such a to and fro motion is an example for periodic motion, and it's also known as oscillatory motion. Okay, periodic motion is also known as oscillatory motion. OSCILLATORY. Oscillatory motion is an example for periodic motion. Again, you can observe seesaw is there in your children's park. In our children's park, seesaw is there. Seesaw is also it moves up and down at a regular interval of time. It keeps moving. Okay. Again, motion of a cradle or motion of a swing. You know that during the time of Onam and all, people are enjoying by making swing. Okay, by sitting on the swing, we will move forward and backward. Okay, such a movement of cradle. Movement of cradle is an example for periodic motion. That means the movement repeats after a regular interval. It may be to and fro. Okay, like this. Such a to and fro motion after a regular interval of time period is known as periodic motion. It is also known as oscillatory motion. Okay. Now let us discuss about rotational motion. Okay, rotational motion means motion of an object in its own axis. Okay, motion of an object or an object spins on its own axis, we can say it's an example for rotational motion. That circular motion we have discussed about fan. That is also an example for the same. The circular motion as well as rotational motion is same only. They are fixed to a particular point and it is moving around. Okay, motion of a wheel of a bicycle, it's an example for a rotatory motion or rotational motion. Okay, again top also, it is in a particular place, it is fixed and it is moving in a rotatory manner. Then it's an example. And the movement of the top, it's an example for rotatory motion. Again, movement of satellites around the earth, that is rotationally. Okay, that is known as rotation. 24 hours it will take for rotation. Okay, earth moving on its own axis, it's an example for rotatory motion. In an imaginary axis, it keeps on moving on its own axis. One time it wants to rotate itself, it takes 24 hours, you know. Okay, so such type of a motion in which an object moves on its own axis, spins on its own axis, then it is known as rotatory motion. The movement of satellites around the planets, movement of moon around the earth, and the movement of hands of a clock, that is also rotation to one axis. At the same time, it is periodic motion also. Okay, after regular interval it is moving. At the same time, one complete rotation it is completing. So we can say it's an example for a rotatory motion. So these all are the different types of motion. So in this lesson, we have already discussed about story of transport and different types of motion, and how will you measure the length of a curved line, and there are so many activities also we have discussed, and there are some activities are there in your textbook. You have to read thoroughly 1 or 2 times, and you have to make a short report of all the activities. Then it will be easy for you to study. Okay, and read the lesson many times. Notes you have to go through. At the same time, you have to study the portions very well. And before attending the doubt clearing session, you have to read the textbook thoroughly, and you have to watch the video also thoroughly. Okay, then it will be clear to you. Okay, now let us discuss about new words. So what are the new words? In page number 105 you can find new words are there. The first word is circular motion. Circular motion. CARCULAR circular motion. And the next word is distance. Spelling of distance is DISTANCE. Distance, the spelling is DISTANCE. Next word is measurement. Measurement spelling is MEASUREMENT. Measurement. Okay. Spelling of measurement is MEASUREMENT. Measurement. The next word is motion. What is motion spelling? MOTION. Motion. The next word is periodic motion. PERIODICMOTION. Periodic motion. Okay. Whenever the long words, whenever you are reading, you have to cut it into small groups. PERIO, one group. DIC, another group. So, periodic motion. The next word is rectilinear. RECTILINEAR. Rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion. The next word is SI units. Actually, SI, what is the full form of SI unit? International System of Units. Okay, the full form of SI unit is International System of Units. We can also say it as System International. Okay, a standardized unit of measurement we have discussed, that is metric system, and that metric system is modified into International System of Units. Okay, and that is universally accepted by scientists all over the world. The measurement which is taken by following SI unit will be similar and identical, accurate in all over the world. SI unit. Okay, children, these are all about this today's lesson. You have to read the lesson thoroughly instead of running here and there. Almost all the children I know that you are not reading. Okay, Alan Jovi, are you reading properly? So you must study. I am observing you through your doubt clearing session also. I am observing. So all of you have to read thoroughly, and the textbook also you have to read thoroughly, and the notes which are given that you have to write, and each words, difficult words, you have to write minimum 5 times, and you have to study. That is a homework for you. Okay, and all the activities you have to read and make a report of it. Okay, children, till the next time we will meet. Tata, bye bye.